everybody, it's Mo back in Matthew's Friends Keto Kitchen, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm going to start today with a very simple recipe, but we've got some new ones lined up, which I hope you'll tune into at some other date. And biscuits is what I'm going to be doing today. These are very useful because they're high fat, very low carb, and depending on what you do with them, they can be made very, very tiny, and they'd be quite useful if you need to get a quick bit of fat in. I know fat bombs are very popular for that, but these can fit in there as well. And if you want to make them really attractive for a party, we've got a little gadget here which I'll just show you now, and it's a cookie shaper, and it's got lots of different shapes, hearts, Christmas trees, very useful. I'm not going to use this today. It's one of those things that it'd be lovely to have, and I think you should put it on your Christmas list. But for today I'm going to make just a little round biscuit. They're rather like shortbread, these little things, but they're not fragile, so they'll travel well. We'll pop them into lunch boxes, take them on a picnic. I think you'll find them very useful. So we'll start off with just a few ingredients. As you can see, there's not very many. And we'll start with some butter. And just pop that in your dish. Just soften it down a bit. That's flattened out okay. Then we've got some almond flurry. Now, don't worry if you can't buy this. You can use ground almonds, and they work perfectly well. They're not a problem. I just happen to like flurry because they are a little bit finer. You can make ground almonds finer if you just whiz them through a coffee grinder or a food processor. But as I say, don't worry if you can't get these. They're from Holland & Barrett. Make sure they're all in. Just work those in a little bit. Now the only other main ingredient is the sweetener. Now for this, the liquid sweeteners don't work quite so well. You can use any other sweetener of your choice, preferably granular, as I say, and they come in different fineness. This is a really fine one, and this is sucrin, which I'll show you the packet, and that's sucrin mellis, and it's like an icing sugar really, so it's really, really fine and works really well in baking. But there's also Natvia, which also is sold as an icing. It is fine, but not quite as fine as this one. But they both work very well. I'll just pop that in. And a little bit of flavouring. Now I favour almond because of the ground almonds, but you can add any flavouring you like, and if you don't want to use an extract, then a pinch of cinnamon or mixed spice, ginger, just a matter of taste really. I always tip this into the lid because you don't want the whole bowl, but just a few drops. And then it's just a matter of a bit of elbow grease. It does go in quite well. You don't add any liquid to this, and it will form a dough. You can see that's starting to go now. Now once it gets to this stage, if you were using the cookie cutter, you would just pop it in and plunge away. It's very easy. But I just thought, well, on an everyday basis and for economy, we'll just use it as it is. And now at this stage too, you can decide how many you want to make. You can make 3 or 4 quite large biscuits. You can make up to, I'd say, 8 or 9 little ones. Now that is what it will look like. And at this stage, I'm going to put on my gloves. You may or may not like to do that. I can take it off and have clean hands. So, there we go. It doesn't look very much, does it? Put that on there. Just give it a little roll. Now I'm going to make 3 today, so that I don't bore you too long while I'm standing here making loaves. And get my baking tray. I use one of these liners because they're non-stick. You don't have to, but it's my preference. You can see how easily that's just going into a biscuit. It's very pliable, it goes together really, really well. Shall we put a pattern in? You can just dip some holes. You can do it with a fork, anything at all, just to take plainness off. Now they will go in an oven at about 170 degrees, 150 fan, and they will cook quite quickly. This size will probably take about 12 minutes, and the little baby ones take about 10. So, happy baking.